And we're live. Welcome in, Mr. Doc. I apologize if you think that we're doing Smash Bros. Like an idiot, I did not hit the done button on updating the title and category and go live notification. We are doing a cooking stream. So, of course, if you are interested in seeing what I have to cook or even following along or cooking yourself in the future, you know? Good. Okay. Good. But yes, we're doing a cooking stream. Today we are cooking hash browns with over easy eggs on top, toast, and maple bacon. But yes, so stick around. Not a huge chat right now, but the show must go on. Anyway, first thing you need to do I'd say before you even wash your hands when you're cooking is when you're cooking potatoes and stuff is to wash the potatoes off, of course, because they're covered in dirt. You just had pancakes and sausage. Well, if you're in the mood for breakfast again, then you come to the right stream. So yeah, I just use a nice little brush here. You know what? Let's switch over to the big food. I use a brush here, and you just want to scrape off all of the dirt and stuff that was left on the potato. From the store. You want to make sure, of course, it's all clean because you most certainly do not want dirt in your hash browns. All right, and I do have like sorry if this looks a little gross. We got some coffee grounds and stuff there. That's compost. Oh, I forgot to wash your hands step. So now that you've cleaned all the dirt and crud off of the potato, you got to wash your hands, of course. The most important step before any cooking, and especially in this day and age with all the Rona out everywhere, you definitely want to wash your hands. Dry them off. Get your potato peeler. I got this medium-sized potato. And you just, with long strokes, you want to peel the potato. Get all the skin off. So how you been, Mr. Doc? Are you a fan of cooking at all? Or do you like hash browns? Talk to me. I keep seeing the memes where it's like they show a low polygon model like Mario from Super Mario 64 and then a high polygon model like Mario from Super Mario Galaxy. And the meme subtitle is the potatoes when I cut them, when I peel them versus the potatoes when my mom peels them. Because of course you don't want to go too deep. You don't want to be slicing off the actual potato. So yeah, get there. If there's any eyes in there, make sure you gouge them out with the end. So you want to gouge your potato's eyes out. All right, so I got all that in the compost there. Let's put that back where that belongs. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is get out our cheese grater. Now I've got this nice little cheese grater here where you can just rub it along the side, and then it all falls into the box on the bottom. So that's what I like to use. Actually, that's a lie. I had this one. I do not have access to it right now, but I had this food processor where what you would do is it had a circular cheese grater with a handle on it, and you would crank it, and you would just put whatever it was on in the top, press it down, and then you would be able to grate down whatever it was. In this case, potatoes. So you just want to. You're doing great here. You just want to grate the potatoes, right? And your goal is to just make them into nice thin strips. It doesn't matter if your grater isn't like really sharp or whatever. In fact, you kind of want to get jagged cuts in there, and I'll explain why in a bit once we're done with grating all the potatoes. You usually want to do this over, a sink or a cutting board or something where you can collect up all the scraps and take care of them appropriately. Let's see if I can. There we go. So you just want to keep going until the potatoes are all gone. Yo, a cooking stream. Hey, Megs Gaming, welcome in, welcome in. We're making hash browns with sunny side up eggs on top. I'm sorry, I skipped breakfast for this. And toast and maple bacon. You are more than welcome. I don't know if you're in my Discord, exclamation point Discord. If you go there, I do have a list of ingredients, and I will be doing 2 portions. So after I'm done with this one, I will be doing another one. So if you want to follow along, then if that is your oh, come on, bot. What is my bot not? Ah, where'd my bot go? Stream elements. What are you doing? Sorry, folks, we're experiencing technical difficulties. Yeah, it's upset I'm doing a cooking stream. It's not my usual content. Stream elements. Am I logged in? I am logged in. Activity feed. My bot is. Let's have the bot leave and come back. Hey, QT Serene, welcome in, welcome in. Let's do that. Let's change it to Carl the Pumpkin Man and see if it likes that. Work with me here, stream elements. Okay. What? There we go. Okay. So it should not show up on the overlay, but it should be showing up in chat. So it caught up. All right. So right now, literally all we've done so far. Oh yeah. Although I should probably specify. If you're in the Discord, make sure you read and agree to the rules. And then in the general category of channels, you should be able to find the cooking channel. And there's a pinned message in there. If you just scroll up, you should be able to find all the ingredients. Lurk. I guess the bot is slow. Thank you for the lurk, QT Serene. All right, nice. So right now, lurk gives Discord. I don't know. QT Serene melds into the shadows, watching silently from afar. So basically, all we're doing right now is we're grading it. Oh no. Not this again. Is it? Shoot. I've had this happen before. It hasn't happened in a long time. I guess the bot really wants you all to join the Discord. I've had to ban my bot before. I wish my hands are covered in potato. Come on. So you want to grade it all down, get it all into I'm having my mods get on that. So yeah, you want to grade it all down. I'll rinse it off. Let's see if yeah, it happened before when when it wouldn't work and then I'd send the custom bot message. Let's ban Poofle the Pumpkitty and let's change it just to stream elements. And then save that. And hopefully the bot. You cannot ban the moderator. Oh, because it's a mod. Nice. Banned. Okay. So sometimes it does that with a custom name. I have no clue why, but that's done with. Okay. So, right now, all we've gotten done to recap is we have gotten all of the potatoes nice and grated. You got to be careful. Sometimes that's a little flat piece. Make sure you rip that up. So it's all grated in there. Okay. And then next thing we do is we get the onion. So this is like a recipe that I got from YouTube, from Gordon Ramsay's YouTube. So, I mean, I don't know. I like it. I've made some tweaks to my liking. So we've got the onion. What you're going to want to do is peel off all the outer layer. You know, all the dry, hard stuff. Make sure you peel that off so that you get to the nice and juicy sub layers. I've got a little compost thing out of reach. That's where I'm dumping it. So you get all the good stuff because you really don't want the dry stuff getting in your hash browns because it's just like, trust me, you don't want it. So you wrestle with the frickin' onions. There we go. All right, maybe I could stand to reorient the camera a bit here. So then what you're going to want to do is you're not going to want to put the entire onion in there. You're going to want to put half of it in. So this is a culinary thing called the bear claw grip. So what you want to do is when you hold something down, hold on, this is the first time I've ever done managing cameras like this. When you hold something down, you want to hold it down, see how my fingers are curled in. That way, especially if you're chopping something, the blade can't slice you because your fingers are curled inwards. So what you want to do is you want to cut the butt off here. I mean, it's not too dangerous since my fingers are very far away from the cutting thing. You know, but just for general principle. I don't want people in the comments in the chat yelling at me, but you just said to do the bear claw grip and then now you're not doing it. So then you cut the butt off, get all the hard part off. And then, like I said, I am going to be doing two portions. So I will be doing this again. Cut the onion in half. And for those of you, if you're just joining us and you would like to follow along, I will be doing a second serving of this after I'm done with this one. So you can type in !Discord to join the Discord, look in the cooking section, and gather the ingredients: eggs, eggs, potatoes, onions, butter, that sort of thing. All right, and now we are going to want to grate the onion as well. Now, people ask me, Carl, how do you make it so the onion doesn't spray everywhere and irritate your eyes and make you cry? And to that I say, I don't know, happens to me every time. But you just want to grate the onions. This is like the worst part, the worst thing for it, because it like just the act of grating it gets everything everywhere. And you kind of want that, because the next step is going to involve us squeezing all the crud out of it, all the juice, because the more juice you squeeze out, the better it cooks. Is that even... Am I even grating? Do you want to grate all of it? That's just great. Let me move the camera a bit. I got this tripod. It's hooked up to my phone that I'm using an app to hook it up to my stream setup. So apologies if it's a little scuffed, as the kids these days say. And apologies to anyone if you're coming in expecting Smash Bros. I completely forgot to actually update my stream title. Ugh. Problem is, all of it doesn't go into the inside, and you don't really want to waste it. Oh, my eyes! We're chopping onions, and it's making me cry. It is making me cry. Holy cow! I thought wearing glasses would help. Nope. Just diffuses in the air. Holy moly. It's starting to get into my eyes. I'm sorry if anyone's doing this at home. Don't cry. You know, I get sad sometimes. Just got something in my eye. Oh god. Okay, and then the onion, like, not gonna lie, it's a pain in the butt because it starts like, you know, as everyone knows, onions have layers, and those layers tend to split apart on you, so the onion just falls apart. This is the butt of the onion. I'm just gonna compost that. Composting. It's recycling for organic matter. Oh my god, I am crying. Holy moly. All right, so that's gonna be good enough for now. Let me just ah my eyes. Ah, I cannot. Hold up. Let's regroup here. Uh didn't think I needed an emergency eye wash station for a cooking stream. Can't wait until I do that again later in the stream. But yeah, the onion, it always gets in my eyes, and I don't. Ugh. Anyway, oh no, glasses are starting to fog up. So once you've done that, once you've done that, the next step, and this is a pretty darn important step. If you skip this step, it's gonna spell disaster down the road. I've made this recipe quite a few times, and this step is really important for you to make sure that the hash browns stick together. Because when we're going to be cooking it, what's going to happen is, well, I should probably explain what the step is first. So the step is we're going to try to mix this up and then squish out all of the juice, right? So you want to just squish it, and you see all that gunk coming out. That's what you don't want in your hash browns. So you want to get all that crud out. Just squeeze it like Pop Goes the Weasel. You just maybe get like a colander and like press it up against that with a spatula or something. Yeah. So you want to get as much juice out as possible. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to cook it more evenly, more quickly, because the more water there is in the hash browns, the more energy from cooking it will go into boiling the water away instead of actually cooking the potatoes. Potato juice. Welcome in, Chi-Chi. Just so y'all know, Chi-Chi27 is my father, and I figured I'd make a couple rounds. So if people come in halfway, because let's face it, no one actually plans in advance and attends things like these in advance. So if someone comes in halfway, they'll be doing it for, they'll be able to follow along the second time around. But so I'll be making this for him right now. So what you want it to be like packing snow. And I apologize if you grew up without packing snow, but you want it to be a nice, like, ball. It should ball up in your hands like this. Now, one thing that I probably should have mentioned before that you don't want to do, it is you want to make sure you're doing this in the side of the sink with the garbage disposal. I did not, because I just camera reasons. But you want to make sure you do that on the side of the sink with the garbage disposal so that you can run it down any shreds that fall or anything. You can just dispose of it. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't necessarily mod for me. He just comes by and I made him a mod because why not? But so that almost forgot. So then we're going to need to season it. Salt and pepper are standard. Gordon Ramsay did some cayenne pepper, or cayenne, as he calls it. Um, I am not usually a fan of spicy stuff, but if you like put a little in there, then it doesn't make it really spicy, and it just kind of gives you a little kick. So you want to put some pepper in there, pepper on top, and then put some. Oh, actually, if you see him, he's right there in that chair. Can you wave? There we go. Hi, Dad. He's in the background. Look at that. And then put some salt in there, of course, to taste. And then just a little bit of ground cayenne pepper on top there. So I found like a medium potato is good for one serving. You make like a nice little pan's worth. And it fits one egg nicely. So, all right, so you got all the stuff in there. You just want to mix it around, pack it around like packing snow, like I said. Mix it all up. Okay. And then so that everything gets nice and mixed throughout, so you're not having pockets of pepper or cayenne or salt. So once that's all mixed, then we are going to transition to the stove. So I unfortunately am not high tech enough to have a camera set up over there already. So I will need to do a minute or two break so I can transition on over to the stove. So I will do a BRB, and then when you next see me, I should be pretty much all set up. So I will catch you on the flip side, folks. It'll be only a minute or two. How we? Oh, oh, okay. There we go. For those of you who are curious, it's literally my phone sitting on a board with a hole in it. So that's why you can see crud. All right, we back? Can you see me? We good? Sorry, I'm looking down on you all. You know, it's I'm running. I'm operating on a very limited budget. This is literally just this is. I don't even have any other stream setup stuff other than my phone. It's the only thing I'm using that's new, and extension cord. Anyway, so what you're gonna want to do, take it cooking oil of your choice. I have pure canola oil here because that was what was in my dad's cupboard, his cabinet. You can use any cooking oil. You can use freaking cooking oil spray, but I do not prefer to do that. Can you see that all right? There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you pour that in there. You know what? Hold up. I want a rubber scraper. That's what I want. I don't want a spatula. You can't go wrong with a rubber scraper. So what you do is, my apologies if I'm not the most checking of chat. My phone is this camera up here, and I have to turn to look at this. So what you want to do is you want to turn your range on about medium heat, you know, and just heat the oil up a bit. Make sure it's all spread around. Heat the oil up a bit so that when you put your potatoes on, they'll already start frying. Now, one thing you can do is just put like a little shred on there, just to see when it starts cooking, like when it starts really sizzling and stuff. That's an indicator that it's hot enough to actually cook the thing. So now we wait. Maybe I should grab an egg while I'm waiting. So this is one serving for one person. So so a medium potato, half an onion, and one singular egg. Fun fact about this egg, and I'll probably bring it up multiple times, and I apologize for that. This was laid by our chickens, and it was laid on October 27th. So it's a pretty old egg, but it's still better than the ones you get at the grocery store, in my opinion. Eggs actually last a pretty long time, and are still viable. But yeah, they are farm eggs. They're not farm fresh eggs, I guess. I guess different people have different definitions of farm fresh, but whatever. All right, so cook this up. That's starting to heat up. And you're really gonna notice the whole finely shredded thing. If you didn't shred the potatoes nice and small, and you didn't squeeze out the all the juice, then you're gonna run into problems in this phase, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook it, and it's gonna cook on one side, of course, and then we're gonna have to flip it. And flipping it is probably the hardest, most precarious part of this whole recipe. It usually is, because if you haven't done it right up to that point, then when you try to flip it, it'll all fall apart. And you can salvage it, and I've done it before, but it's a pain in the butt because only one side is cooked, remember, at that point. So it doesn't have much holding it together. So what we do, we got a piece of onion in there. Oh my god. Oh, that's tough. You know what? I'm just gonna chuck that piece of onion, a whole layer of onion. Throw that in the compost. So okay, that's starting to get golden brown. That one little piece in there. So let's scoop it up. I don't know. I don't know if y'all can hear the sizzling. Probably not, but I can. That's a shame. I wish I had like an actual mic here. I've got a noise suppression on my mic, because it suppresses the static. So what you want to do, you want to have a pan that, maybe half a centimeter to a centimeter of potato on the bottom. You want to be able to spread it nice and evenly. It is possible to do it, where you don't take up the whole pan, but I personally would just take up the entire pan, squish it out like this. So now that's potato there, boom. And what you're going to want to do to help get that nice crispy golden texture, you're going to take some butter, and butter makes everything better. That's why they call it butter, because it's just better. And you're going to take little pats of butter, and you just tuck them on the side. Boop. And what you're trying to do is, you're trying to let the butter melt down and get underneath on the bottom so that it can be nice and crispy. Of course, if anyone has any questions on modifications or amounts or technique or why I'm doing something, feel free to mention them in the comments. I am more than happy to answer them. So what you're going to do is you're just going to put that in there. Boom. And then now, this is another important piece. You got to make sure that you're shaking the pan, because I will repeat, you do not want your hash browns sticking to the bottom of the pan. Now, the oil and the butter should absolutely help with that, but you want to make absolutely sure you're giving the pan a little jiggle. It's kind of hard to see with the frame rate, but you see how the potatoes are sliding back and forth. You do not want them to stick. If it's starting to stick, make sure you take like a rubber scraper or a spatula, get around there and scrape it off. Because if you try to flip it when it's sticking, and I'm speaking from experience here, if you try to flip it when it's sticking, it's going to stick. Part of it's going to go, part of it's going to not. It's going to fold over on itself, and you're going to find yourself having hash brown surgery trying to undo it. Hit the small whip. You may notice that a lot of my channel point rewards are turned off because, for obvious reasons, I can't really have a plushie just sitting on the stove. I don't have I'm not going to give you a virtual hug. I maybe could do a virtual hug here, but whatever. That sort of thing. So this is, kind of the waiting game. If you've got any left in your potato thing, feel free to spread that all out. So you kind of see, if you flip it over, it's starting to get golden brown, and that's what you want. Another thing you may want to do is press it down, because another thing you don't want to happen is it cooks really crispy and thin and burns on the bottom, and it kind of makes a bowl where potato and onion juice just sits. So when you pat it down like that, it kind of helps to break up the bottom a little bit and force a lot of the juice to go down and evaporate, because you don't want soggy hash browns. Important to stay hydrated, kids. Shaking it again. You don't want to squish it out too far, because then it starts popping up the sides. It's starting to cook under there. If you notice that it's cooking too quickly, maybe turn the heat down a bit so you're not overcooking it, right? Because you want to avoid burning the bottom. All right, and when it starts cooking, it's kind of the balancing act of pushing it down so that all the stuff gets there, but also you don't want to break it apart too much, because one of the things we're trying to do right now is get a nice golden, crispy bottom so that it holds together. So when we try to flip it, it won't fall apart on us, And squishing all the potato juice and stuff out, that is, from what I have seen in my experience, the most important part of making sure that it all sticks together. Because if you don't get all the juice out, it'll boil all the water away. It won't really cook the potatoes together a lot. and then when you try to flip it, it's just gonna all fall out all everywhere. And then when you flip it and then you cook it and it's done, you'll find that the bottom, or the outside rather, is overcooked compared to the inside. If you're going to like McDonald's or something, I can get behind that, where it's like golden brown on the outside but kind of uncooked on the inside. But I don't know, when I cook it here, I don't like that. Some of my family members do. I personally don't. I like to see it nice and golden brown all the way through. So just out of curiosity, to my viewers today, how many of us are here are check my whispers when I get a chance. What you got for me? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. So we're gonna make nice emote, Mr. Doc. Just out of curiosity, how many people are doing this for entertainment? How many people are doing this to potentially watch and cook later? And how many of us are cooking it now or intend to cook it the second time around? Because I will be doing a second showing, if you will. So if you're not cooking it right now, but you kind of like, frick, I wish that I had showed up earlier so I would be able to cook it, feel free to type in !Discord, join the Discord, and look at the cooking channel. We have a list of ingredients, so if you want to dash and get all those together so that you can have it all ready by the time this is done, then you're golden. So that, you want to look underneath it, and you see it's sticking. That's looking pretty good to me. So what we're going to do is flip it. This is the hardest part of pretty much anything that requires, any flat thing that requires cooking on both sides. Here's something I got from the legend himself, Gordon Ramsay. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a plate, and you're going to want to put the plate upside down. You can figure out how I want to do this. So you put the oven mitt on your left hand, your non-dominant hand, and you put the plate upside down on the pan, and then you flip it. And then there we go. It's upside down. And then you could just slide that on there. Boom. Perfectly flipped. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Best thing is you can use that plate again as your actual serving plate because raw potato is not poisonous. If you're flipping meat or something, meat's kind of easy to flip. I don't know if you're making like a whole meat omelet. I don't know. But yeah, one thing, serve safe. If you want to keep food safe, make sure if you're ever cooking meat, don't take the raw meat out on a plate. Cook the meat and then put the cooked meat back on the plate where the raw meat was, because it'll get cross-contaminated with raw meat. So what you're going to want to do is do what we did last time. We're just going to slip some pats of butter down the sides. You want to make sure that they slip all in there. And that way it'll get nice and down where the actual cooking is happening. And it'll get this lovely golden brown. Crispy outside. And that's what we want. Okay, you can see the lower you have your heat, the more evenly it'll cook. If you're someone that really likes a crispy outside and undercooked inside, turn your heat up. If you're someone that likes nice and cooked all the way through, it will take longer, but you can turn your heat down. Right now I have it on about 3.5 out of 9. So there we go. Make sure you're shaking it. So after we make this, and then after we cook the egg, we're going to make the bread. So I'm going to open the bread up while that's cooking so that I get... My dad, unfortunately, is gluten-free, so we're gonna make the butt end of it, and I'm just going to snack on it and chat afterwards before I do the the second helping. It's the butt. The best slash worst roast my sister ever did to me. So of course, we're living under the same roof. We're eating sandwiches with bread and stuff. And what my siblings will do, and let's be honest, it's what I will do too. You reach past the heel of the bread and you grab the next two. And then pretty soon, when you get to the end of the bread, the heel that's half crust is all that's left. The butt, if you will. And I said, why do I go there and that's what's all that's left. And a new thing of bread is opened. And I'm like, well, I could get it from there, but like, am I gonna really let this like butt sandwich go to waste? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be that guy. But I was like, I'm like, why am I always the one that gets the butt sandwich? And my sister goes, you are what you eat. And I'm like, oh my God. I thought that was pretty clever. But I'm not a butt though. All right, so here's the twist, folks. You want to check to see that the bottom of your hash browns is indeed cooked to how you want. See, I don't think I did a good enough job getting all the juice out. Because as you can see, it really is white, uncooked white right there, and I don't really want that personally. I like nice and crispy. I like a pretty not overcooked inside. I like or not, but not undercooked. So it's not crispy all the way through, but it does give a little bit. So that's how I like it. So what you're going to do is we're going to wait until the bottom gets almost as cooked as we want it. And you're going to want to, if you're following along at home, you're going to want to get a pan lid ready as well as your egg. And I usually do 1 egg per person. This is a single person serving. So I am only going to have 1 egg. So once, make sure you shake it every once in a while. You do not want that sticking to the bottom of your pan. We can put this spatula away. I don't need that. One thing, if you're feeling enterprising, I don't recommend that you leave your dish cooking for too long. Obviously, you don't want it to burn, both for culinary reasons and for safety reasons. But if you're somewhere where your stove is right next to your sink, when you're waiting for it to cook, it can be a good idea to just go wash the dishes that you use, wash the cheese grater and the cutting board. That makes it, real quick and easy. So when you're done, it's all washed, or put them in the dishwasher or whatever. So that way you don't have to worry about it afterwards. That's kind of what I've been getting in the habit, for the past few months, is I've been just washing every dish as soon as I'm done with them instead of putting them in the sink. Because I don't like dealing with washing dishes. This isn't as crispy as I would want. Yeah, there's still some uncooked stuff on the bottom. Wonder if I didn't squish all the stuff in there. I wonder what the best way, if you could like blend it or whatever. Um, Finely blend it, like what the best way to get all the juice out, because you don't want to do nice fine sliced cuts. You do want to have really rough grating things in order to break open all of the cell walls and stuff and get all the juice out of the potato and the onion. So yeah. Do 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 do. A do 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 do. Boop 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 boop. So that I want to say, hey Dad, what do you think? Is it approaching? How do you like it? Golden brown. Okay, so I'll keep it on there, nice and crispy. And that's right. I'm not cooking this one for me. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna turn it down. I'm gonna get all enterprising. I'm going to flip it again. So I'll flip it again. I mean, you typically want to just flip it once and be done with it. Yeah, see, because if you look at that, that's starting to get a little too crispy. You can see on the edges here. It's starting to I wouldn't say burn, but getting a little overdone. So there we go. Press that down. Nice and golden brown. Again, depends on your preferences. I don't think that's going to taste all charred or anything. Um, I hope my chat is not silently judging me. So, anyone in chat have any fun stories or any important news they would like to share? I personally, if you've been around in chat for the past few days, I got accepted to interview for a job in Japan, a full-time job in Japan. So that's exciting. Interview will be early February, February 8th to be exact. So I'm gonna have to, if you're in my Discord, you are familiar probably with that. I did announce that I will be probably pushing my streams back for that day. Obviously, full-time job offer potential is takes precedence over stream as much as I love you guys. But I'll be doing that. It's kind of like getting kind of real. I have to submit an FBI criminal background check, basically, where I like submit my fingerprints and they make sure I haven't committed any crimes or, or my fingerprints don't match anything that they have. But yeah, that I need to get my doctor to like sign off on my health and make sure and say yes, indeed, I am fit to go live in another country. But in any case, I'm thinking this is almost done. So what we're gonna do, it's for the over easy eggs part. We're just gonna literally crack the egg right on there. Be nice and gentle. You don't want the yolk to break. And then immediately put the lid on. Now, what this is gonna do is in Gordon Ramsay's version, he took the entire pan off and put it in the oven. I think that's like just an extra step. I don't want to do that. So what I do is I crack the egg on right there and I put the lid on. And what the lid does is it makes sure that the hot air recirculates and just keeps heating up instead of escaping into into the room. And so what that's going to do is that's going to slowly cook the egg. Now, I want the eggs to be sunny side up, and what that means is the inside of the yolk is still raw. Now, the reason I like this is because I like to make some toast, and I like to dip my toast in the yolk and eat it that way. So what we're gonna do in order to get it sunny side up, we are going to wait. You see it starting to turn white. That's good. We're going to wait until the white film covers the yolk. As soon as that as soon as the albumin, the whites of the egg, cooks and covers the yolk, then we know we're done. Because we don't want to cook all the way through. We only want the outside to cook to hold the yolk in. So we're going to do that. It's turning white. It's turning white. Don't bother moving it, taking it off, whatever. We're just going to sit and wait until all that white that's surrounding the edges of the egg covers it. If you want, if you prefer your eggs yolks to not be runny, of course, just let it sit there for longer. You know, maybe put the egg on a little bit earlier so that your hash browns don't burn while your egg is cooking. and then leave it on there for a little bit longer. I'm going to grab a fork. Unfortunately, I'm going to do the honors for my dad and break open the yolk just to show you what's inside. Now, like I said, I prefer to dip my buttered toast in it. Like I don't know, I just like it that way. But my dad says he likes to just let it drip off into the potatoes. So there's that. So I'm just gonna poke it open to show you guys how runny it is on the inside. See, it's starting to get there. You see the white? It's kind of hard to see because there's a bunch of condensation on the top. But the white is approaching the yolk. We'll see. Sometimes what happens is if you don't, I don't know what factors change it. It could be that your heat is too high, so it cooks too slowly, or too quickly rather, or maybe it could be that your heat is too low, so it cooks all the way through before the outside can harden. I am not entirely sure. I would imagine this would be the way to do it, but it's not almost done. Kind of hard to see. Yeah, it's still jiggling around in there. You want to wait until that yolk gets covered. Actually. Okay, nope. Because sometimes it can trick you, and the egg that you get doesn't have albumin covering the yolk, so then it doesn't cook and cover it, and then you're just sitting there like I'm waiting, and then it does not. It's still really jiggly in there. That's one if you slide it and it's kind of jiggly. It's kind of hard to see with the frame rate of the camera, but if it jiggles around, if the yolk jiggles around in there, then you know that it's not held in there tightly by cooked albumin. So there's that. So this is almost done here. You know, there was this one other streamer I watch. I was kind of haranguing her. I was like, "Yo, you should do a cooking stream." Someone else came up with the idea, and I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to watch that." And they're like, I don't know about that. It might be hard to set it up." So if you can't have someone else do something for you, folks, make sure you do it yourself. So I figured, yeah, you know what? If I can't watch one, that's fine. I'm not going to force someone else to do that. So I'll do it myself. There we go. Okay, you see? It could probably stand to go for a little bit, but the white has covered the yolk. So let's just slide this off here. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. So what you can do is if you poke it with your fork, it's still runny in there. So there we go. And that's exactly what you want if you're trying to go for over easy. That's how I prefer it. So I'm going to give this, Father, would you like? It's ready. All right, type in chat. Tell chat what you think. Okay. So that's that. Now next, the toast. So you could use a toaster if you were lame. But I'm not lame. I'm not going to use a toaster. Because you know what? This is a cooking stream. Telling someone to use a toaster is not the way to go. So what you can do is put a pat of butter on. Make sure it's spread all around, melted all around. This might be a little bit too much. Depending on your skillet, you might have a fair amount. Might have room for two. But just take your bread, put it on there, move it around so it soaks the butter up, and then literally just let it sit there. Let it sit on, relatively low heat. It doesn't have to be super high. It depends on how again, low heat is good for cooking things slowly all the way through because the heat has time to permeate. Also, if you want to cook things slowly, you can put a lid on it like we wanted to do with the egg. High heat is good for cooking things quickly and getting like a sear on the outside. For example, you might cook a steak slowly to the intended um, you know, wellness, medium rare, well, all that good stuff. Or you might, or not or, and then when you're done, throw it on the grill or a high heat thing to get like a sear on the outside, make it crispy or whatever. That's how they do that. So this is like a general cooking thing from for like overall. But yeah, good stuff. Good. Good. Is are the how are the potatoes? Are they a little too cooked, crispy? Give us your honest opinion. Are they overcooked on the outside, undercooked on the inside, anything like that? Okay, so that. And this is kind of weird. I've never really tried to toast. You see, it's not really golden crystallized. Hash browns came out crispy on the outside, not overcooked. Good. Okay, because it's starting to turn black there. You never want it. You don't want it to be super darn, super black because then it starts tasting charred, and that's certainly not. A little bit too tender? Okay, fair enough. That's what I'm kind of afraid of. It's hard to get, and that's generally I think I'm no expert, but that's I think where you get the where squeezing out the water is important. Not too tender, just tender. Okay. Because the more water you can squeeze out, the less energy the stove takes cooking something all the way through or trying to boil it. Oh, geez. I'm too hungry, man. I skipped breakfast for this. I'm so hungry right now. But yeah, the more you squeeze out, the more the less energy is wasted on boiling water away and just simply cooking the potatoes. So I think what happens is if there's a lot of juice in there, you can like the outside will get that's in contact with the pan will get cooked. But the rest of it won't. Oh no. Was it low frame rate for you guys too? It was low frame rate for me. It was like, hey, no problem. No problem. Thanks for letting me use your kitchen and your food. So let's see. So literally when you're just grilling bread like this, there we go. That was a little much. It's hard to get a good um beat on how much cuz sometimes if your bread is it'll kind of get concave, you know, and the outside will cook um and toast a lot, but the outside meaning the edges and the inside right here won't. So that's something tough. Sometimes you want to just hold it down like that. I'm not gonna cook that too darn much. Oh, probably should put that on a plate. So I'll just snack on that while. Let's turn that off for now. I'm gonna need it in a bit, but we're on to the bacon. Oh, maple sugar. So here's where I encourage you to do, take your own. Excuse me here. I forgot to grab the maple sugar or the brown sugar. Um, I encourage you to take your own path. I have gotten mixed results. I don't think I necessarily like this way better, but the way Gordon Ramsay cooked it. We don't have an open one. Okay. He makes maple bacon, and what he does is he cooks the bacon, and he puts um brown sugar on it, and it kind of mapleifies the bacon. Oh, here we go. Here, got some brown sugar. Thank you. So it tastes this salty sweet, and he says it himself in the video. He's like, when I first got to America, I couldn't get my head around the idea of putting sweet on bacon. the sweet and salty combo, but I'll show you all how to make bacon both with and without. Just yeah, to give you guys just some options. So we've got some Smithfield bacon, not sponsored, 100% not sponsored. I don't really care. I don't really have a brand of bacon that I really specifically enjoy. Of course, I usually like get a brand and then be like, "Oh, that was really good," and then proceed to forget which one it was. So you want to cut around the outside. What I do is I cut out 3 sides. I'm working with limited space here, folks. You usually want to have extra countertop space and not have like a full-on laptop right there at your disposal, taking up space. Electronics and cooking generally shouldn't mix. So you cut. What I do is I cut the 3 sides like this. I cut around these 3 sides. That way I can just fold it back and cut. You can kind of see it there. So I fold it back there, and since I am using a pan that, as you can see, is pretty much longer than the length of a piece of bacon, or a piece of bacon is longer than it. What I literally do is I just take a pair of food safe, kitchen scissors, and just cut the bacon right down the middle. Boom. So just kind of saw through those. Come on. It's kind of hard to cut through the fat. That's nice and stringy. Come on now. All right. Oh, shoot. All right, hold up. I got my hand in some of the bacon. Now you want to treat raw meat. What I say, you want to treat raw meat with respect. Raw meat, chances are it doesn't have any it might not have any diseases, but it could. You could have salmonella, it could have whatever. If you ever get raw meat on your hands, like I just did there, I just accidentally touched it, you definitely 100% want to wash your hands. Or if you're working with raw meat with your bare hands, that's fine, but you're gonna want to wash them before you touch anything else. So I'm gonna wash these scissors and my hands. And I cannot see chat right now, so if anyone says something, I will get to you in a second. Hopefully no one's going crazy. You want to make sure to wash off all the raw meat stuff, because I don't really plan on... Hey, thanks for the follow, Peter Matthews 007. Sorry, I'm washing some meat off on the side. How you doing? You fan of cooking streams, I assume? I will be doing a second go around if in case you missed anything. Not to worry. Now, what I'd like to do is, in order to before I make the bacon, I have a plate with greetings from Wisconsin. I know where Wisconsin is. I am a Michigander, so we are neighbors. I'm just making hash browns with sunny side up eggs on a bed of hash browns with toast and bacon. So I just made this toast. I made the first one for my dad. I'm sorry you missed it, but like I said, I will be making another one right after I'm done with making the bacon here. So stick around if you want to. I do have a Discord if you want to type in !Discord. Right across Lake Michigan. 100%. Unfortunately, there is nothing involving cheese today. Although I do love cheese. You could put some cheese on here. Put some cheese on the eggs. That might not be horrible. But yeah, so yes, stick around if you wanna make your own. I don't know if you have the ability to just drop and make it right now, but yeah. My dad is gluten intolerant, so I made some toast for me. Okay, sorry for talking with a mouthful. Bad manners. But the next I will be I'll make some bacon and then I'll make some maple bacon as per Gordon Ramsay. So you want to cook it or turn it up, turn it on medium heat. Again, like I'm saying this entire time, if you want crispy on the inside and chewy on the inside with anything, turn the heat up. If you want it to slowly cook all the way through the same consistency, turn the heat low. So my utensil of choice for cooking bacon is tongs. So I've got these nice rubber coated, Teflon tongs here, non-stick and all that good stuff. Poison in the environment. Made your first corned beef in a slow cooker? Nice. I didn't make corned beef. I made some beef stew a few weeks back. I was digging around my dad's freezer and I found he had like a year back. He and a coworker had gone in half season buying like a half of a cow. So he still has like the not cookable, like grillable stuff, not the porterhouse. So he had like a round steak. And so I made some beef stew out of that. I used it in a slow cooker. Put in for 3 hours. Ate some of that. That was I put it in with some potatoes and onions, and then I cooked it overnight, and everything started falling apart. Oh, good, so good. Chicken stock. Much better than a toaster. Now you have to figure out what to make for lunch. Bro, you got potatoes, you got onions, bacon, follow along. I'd say maybe 20, 30 minutes we'll be resetting, and I'll be making the second one. You can follow along. I promise it'll be rewarding. Or you can just watch the VOD later. Oh boy. So this is cooking kind of slow. I can speed it up. The thing about bacon is it's so thin. You can get away with cooking it quickly because the inside won't be raw. Because there is no inside, really. I'm just throwing away little strips of bacon packaging that fell on the floor. Make some breakfast sausage. Fair enough. Of course, when bacon cooks, it starts shrinking down so you can fit more stuff. I'm gonna ruin my appetite, aren't I? I'm gonna cook up all the bacon now. I'm making this. This'll be regular bacon, and then I'll make a couple strips worth of maple bacon, and then I'll reset to making the second portion, which I will make for myself. Just to give you some info about my channel, Peter Matthews, I am not, unfortunately, an IRL streamer for the most part. I do stream mostly video games, but I thought this would be lots of fun, and it is definitely something I want to do again. I've got like 7 viewers. Hey, Manchita, welcome to the stream. Yum indeed. I don't know if you've seen all the announcements and stuff in the Discord leading up to this, but if you would like to cook your own, you can check the cooking channel under the general category. And all the ingredients are there. We will be making a second batch after I finish up cooking the bacon. Ooh, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful of bacon. Of course, the higher the hotter you cook it, the faster it cooks, but the more it spits at you. So, you might want to, depending on how sensitive you are, how much stuff you're putting in there, you might want to wear like a pot holder glove or something if you're really sensitive to hot stuff like that. We tried Johnsonville sausage strips. It's like bacon, but it's full. I have not. So it's like you just warm it up on the stove or whatever, or in the microwave or how what have you, and then it's like pre-cooked bacon kind of. I have not tried that. Had Canadian bacon, which is just like smoked ham. It's good, but you don't heat it up. You just eat it straight up. I assume it's refrigerated. Nice. So the reason I put the bacon on a plate with a plate with see, it just popped, spit, got my hand even though I was standing over. The reason I put it on a plate that has paper towel on it is it soaks up a lot of the grease. Bacon grease in and of itself, I don't think is super tasty, and also, I mean, it's like pure calories. It's so unhealthy. So there we go. That's a nice little normal bacon, easy peasy. Cook it to how you like it. Let's throw that on there. My dad doesn't really like the maple bacon, so I figured I'd do this and show you. But now I'm going to make a couple strips worth of maple bacon. But here's a little life hack here for you. Pringles cans. Pringles cans are made of foil, metal foil, and gray board, cardboard, what have you. So they don't melt. You can pour hot grease. Probably shouldn't have my hand anywhere near that. Directly in there. This is going to be so funny if it all spills out the bottom. Directly in there and be absolutely fine. But yes, so when you're making the maple bacon, what you're going to want to do is turn the heat down low. If you cook it at normal heats, it will burn the sugar, which you do not want. So you're going to want to lay them on there. So I've gotten varying. You cook with bacon grease? Yeah, it can be a good cooking oil, but if you're just going to eat it straight up, obviously it's not going to be the best. But yeah, if you want to save it for later to cook with, I don't know. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the the pan with the bacon bits in it, and I'll make deviled eggs filling in the pan. I'll mix it up in the pan with all the bacon. Oh my god, this is hard as a rock. Holy moly. Yeah, I usually put the bacon grease in the fridge so it doesn't, bacteria doesn't grow in it. The put the sugar in the fridge? We got the meat tenderizer hammer. What? On top of it. I'm glad you don't need a bunch of good. Holy cow. Put some rice in here. So that's brown sugar. Breaking up with a meat tenderizing hammer. Yeah. Should be good. Holy moly. So what you want to do is Start putting it on there. Preferably granulated. Then you just kind of put it on there nice and easy. I don't know if chat's looking at this like, oh, gross, or not. You want to nice spread that around. Did not think the brown sugar was going to be this hard. You're hungry. Oh, frick. You're hungry? Well, stick around for a little bit. Once I finish up with this bacon, we're going to be making another round, and you can make that. Can you watch this? I just dropped it. So I just dropped that. My darling assistant, my father, is washing it off for me. How you been, QT Serene? You been following this along? Or have you been zoning it in and out in the background? Thank you, my lovely assistant. Hey. So there we go. We got the maple there. Let's flip it over. And notice that we're cooking it really slowly. It's really easy to burn sugar. Okay. We're getting more. All right, this is not. You've been watching Nice. Have you been cooking? Oh. Mashed potatoes. I will not be making instant anything on this channel. Only quality recipes. Can you cut this? All right. No, not cooking? Well, hey, if you're still hungry and you haven't started yet, feel free to wait a bit. Once these are done cooking, I'm going to switch back to making the recipe over again. And I'd love to see if anyone cooks it themselves. There we go. Let's put that there. Running out of space, folks. So yeah, you want to cook this very, very slowly. Sometimes I don't do the maple bacon just for the sole purpose of the sole reason that it's hard to wait. Because I've got it like on one, I can probably kick it up to 3. So, what's everybody's favorite recipe to cook? This is pretty high on my list. It's a nice diverse one. You got your potatoes, you got your eggs, you got your bacon. I usually drink milk with it. Unfortunately, I will not be having a stream where I will procure milk from the source. That would be cool though. Do a stream of like milking a cow, pasteurizing it, homogenizing it, the whole shebang. There we go. That should be a good cooking speed without burning the bacon. Ba 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 ba. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Again, if you cook it quickly, you'll burn the outside without cooking the inside. If you cook it slowly, it'll take longer, but generally speaking, it will be more solidly cooked. I just heard a pling from my phone and checked my pocket. My phone's the one that's recording up here. Nice and slowly. Flip it over a couple times. Make sure it all cooks. You don't want to add too much. I found too much maple and or brown sugar, and it just feels really sticky. Kind of cloying. I'm trying to experiment with if there's like a certain maybe if I just like a little bit. Also, on a side note, speaking of bacon, my sister got my dad a set of seasonings for Christmas, and they're all bacon. There's Himalayan pink salt with bacon flavoring. I don't remember what pepper, like chili pepper, I think. Salt with bacon seasoning. Regular salt with bacon seasoning. And I could dig for the last one, but the last one is brown sugar with bacon flavoring. So maybe I should have used that for this, you know. Maple bacon sugar for my maple bacon. All right, you can kind of see there. It's like getting a little black on the side there. This is the part that's closest to the handle. Kind of hard to see. It's the same color as the pan. But that's not what you want. You don't want to burn it. So even this, that's probably cooked enough. Let's put that, throw these on the plate here. And when you're done with something, you want to put it off to the side. But I got my Pringles can, since it's made out of foil and paper. It will not melt. If you have a plastic container and you try to do this, it will melt on you. And if it doesn't melt all the way through and spill hot grease all over your counter or your stove or whatever, it'll shrink the container, make it unusable. So you want to, pat the bacon dry. It is a little sticky, because also be careful not to burn yourself. Also, what happens? The hot grease is a lot. The grease is a lot of what keeps it hot. So if you're impatient like me and you want to eat it now, be right back. All right, fair enough. Thank you. All right. Well, I gotta eat this stuff on stream. And then after I finish these snack, we might chat a little bit, have that cool down. Well, maybe not. Maybe we'll chat a little bit if anyone wants to chat, and then we'll start with round 2. If I realized it would take this long, I would have started sooner. I'm hungry. All right. Moment of truth. Oh no, it's sticking to the paper towel. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't dislike it. The okay, maybe putting it on the on the paper was a bad idea. It's like sticking. Oh my god. Ah! So maybe you don't want to pat this one dry. Because it's sticking to the paper. It's weird because it's like almost tastes like a dessert, you know, because of sugar. But then there's that bacon flavor in there. Okay, well, before I begin my second serving, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? Could be about this or anything. Because if I don't see any questions, I will go ahead and I will make the um second thing, and I will actually, because I've been watching my calories recently. I will be actually tallying up how many calories this takes. So if anyone's interested in getting a rough estimate of how many calories this is, then I will gladly tell you. All right, no questions? Okay. So I'll be right back. I'll be making the same thing again if you didn't see it from the beginning. So if you're coming in halfway, good. No, not a problem. All right, so I'll do the BRB. I will see you in a bit. You know what? Word from our sponsor. And we're live. Is my okay, you hear me? Good. Okay, this is upside down. Hold up. Welcome in, Lextro. We are cooking breakfast for lunch, which is over easy or sunny side up eggs on a bed of hash browns with toast and maple bacon or regular bacon, whatever is your preference. So that's what we're cooking. And I'll be tracking calories as well. So for this one, you'll be able to see how much this actually takes. So let's switch. There we go. Maybe shouldn't have my cord in the sink. This is such a scuffed setup, but whatever. So before you even wash your hands, you can wash off the potatoes, right? So what you're gonna want to do is just scrub off all the dirt, potential dirt and grime that's still on the potato from shipping. Make sure you get it all off, because obviously you don't really want any dirt in your hash browns. So then, boop. Sort of a cutting board right here. I can do that. Then what you want to do is wash your hands. And then, ooh, that's hot. So, I always try to be sustainable. So I have this lovely, gross compost bin. So I'll be peeling my potatoes into the gross compost bin. Also, apologies, folks. I can't believe I just literally typed in commercial 120 instead of doing a commercial / commercial 120, which actually would bring up an ad. I apologize. I know all of you really wanted to see an advertisement. Hey, Robin G, welcome in. Cooking stream. We literally just started the second batch. So, if you're enterprising enough and if you're quick enough, you could catch up and join along. We're making sunny side up eggs on a bed of hash browns with bacon. How you been, Robin G? I figured I'd try something else, get away from the Stardew and the Smash Bros. Do something a little fun. I've been good. Good to hear. And I do have the cooking channel in the Discord. If anyone is interested in trying to, if I ever do one of these again, follow along, I will be posting the ingredients in the Discord. So if you have not joined the Discord, type in !Discord and hop in there. Okay, so this time I will be weighing out. There you go. Nice. I'll be weighing out the ingredients so I can give you all a calorie count at the end. A rough estimate. Let's just turn my scale on. There we go. 178 grams of potato. Potato, 178 grams. Okay. So, you can put your gross compost away. Bada bing, bada boom. And what we're going to do to get the actual hash in the hash browns is we are going to. You just got here, thought it would be too late. You missed the entire first thing. Luckily, we are making an entire one from scratch again, which is precisely why I did this in case anyone shows up late. We've just started another one. We've just peeled the potato. We're just making it, starting to shred it. So You are not too late. You are not too late, Pokemon. Welcome in. How you doing? Did you plan on following along, or are you just um, keeping mental notes for a future date? There we go. So, I had this lovely, I had access to this lovely in the past. My face itches. All right, well, can't be helped. If you touch your face and stuff, I mean, I'm preparing this for myself, so it doesn't really matter. But it's always a good idea, especially if you're preparing things from others. If you had to touch your face or something like that, make sure you wash your hands. But yeah, I had access to this nice little cheese grater thing where the cheese grater was like a drum, so you could put it on and then crank it, and then it would have all the stuff come out the other side. But this is what I have, which I don't know. This kind of grates it up and shreds it up better. Which what you want to do is you really want to break the cells and get all the juice out, because more juice means it won't cook as well. How did my first round go? It went pretty well. My dad said it was cooked to his preference, so that's good. I figured, my dad's here. I might as well cook for him, and you and a few other people said that it might be late, and I figured, you know what? Most people aren't going to be here to catch the entire thing. So if they show up late, partway through, that way, they can still get the entire thing if I make it twice. It's two people living in this house. This thing doesn't always get up inside the thing, so you just want to grate all the stuff. You really want to shred it up. The more shredded, the better. All right, and here's the least favorite part of the recipe. So bad I cried. And the smart ones among you might know what I'm talking about. All right. Where? Oh, where? There did it go. Okay, let me just weigh it first before I. Actually, no, I gotta cut. What I'm talking about, of course, the onion. The onion. Okay, so let's talk about bear claw grip. You see how I'm curling, kind of curling my fingers in. It's a little far away. That way, if your fingers are curled in, it's not really handy for cutting. It's for more for slicing, like if you're doing this. But the bear claw, if your fingers are curled in, the knife can't really slice. If your fingers are splayed out, the knife really easy for the knife to get them. But if you're curled in like this, the knife isn't gonna slice you open, which is you want to avoid that. But given I'm just cutting off the end, the hard bit, just cut that off. You want to make sure any outer layer that's like really tough and hard, make sure you get rid of those. Nice soft lower layers. All right, so I'm weighing this as well. -3 grams. That's a lie. Let's try that again. Tear. 51 grams of onion. Onion has like no calories. Onion. 51 grams. Okay. So, you just want to, like we did with the potato, you just want to shred it. Now, this gets a lot of onion juice in the air. It sucks. I don't know what to do about it. Doug Gummy, welcome in. We are making sunny side up eggs on a bed of hash browns with toast and maple bacon. As the title inclines, breakfast for lunch, or late dinner, as it is in the Iceland. But yeah, I thought I'd be a fun little departure. I don't know if you're in the Discord of mine. If you want to be !Discord, there is a cooking channel in there. If I ever plan to do a cooking stream in the future, which I definitely plan to do sometime I will post. Oh God, the onion's getting in my eyes. I will post the ingredients there beforehand so you can follow along. All my cooking streams, I intend at this point in making them such that you all can follow along at home if you so choose. Breakfast food is always welcome. Always, always, always. Get in my knuckles here. You know what? Screw it. Bear claw grip. We're chopping it up. In the words of Shrek, you should always be looking where you're slicing. In the words of Shrek, onions have layers. And unfortunately, those layers make them a pain to grate. That's why I wish I had my food processor thing with a drum. Skinning your knuckles, it's falling apart. Darn shame. Okay. This is probably one of the most important steps in terms of doing them right now so that you can succeed later. Oh, gross. It got on the freaking... squishing all the juice out. I'm not a big fan of the fact that there are big onion chunks in there, but I'll probably survive. So, there's a lot of water. There's a lot of juice in here. We don't want really any of it. That doesn't mean put it in your desiccator beforehand. But what you want to do is you want to squish out all the juice. Get all the gross juice out of there. Now, what the juice does is it makes it much, much harder to cook it so that, it all sticks together and it all cooks all the way through. In the past, when I haven't squished out the stuff, all the juice, when I flip it, it always falls apart. So you really want to go ham. Make sure it's all out of there, because I think what happens is when you're cooking it, the water absorbs all the heat into evaporating, and not a lot of heat goes to actually cooking the potatoes and get them to stick together. This is a modified recipe from one of Gordon Ramsay's YouTube videos, by the way. So one medium-sized potato and half of an onion, I think, does a good job for one person. So, next up, you want your salt. And if anyone has any questions about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, if they can substitute anything else, feel free to ask. Your pepper, ground peppercorn, and your ground cayenne. I'm not a big fan of spicy stuff. It is literally just pain after all, but I do find that a little bit of cayenne doesn't make it really spicy, just kind of gives a little kick. So, I like it. Spicy pain is good pain. You are entitled to your own opinion, Dagummy, even if it is wrong. Okay, and you want to mix that in. Mix that in nice and good. Okay, and so that's it. This is our hash brown base right here. So with that, we will need to transition over to the oven. It's going to be the new stream, Just Cooking with Carl. Hey, Howie, welcome in. Yeah, I mean, I've been announcing it in the Discord for ages. I've been talking about it on stream. Don't tell me you missed it. But yeah, we're making sunny side up eggs on a bed of hash browns with toast and bacon. So, I'm finishing up that. We're going to move over to the oven over there. So I will be right back. Unfortunately, I do not have a setup over there. I have to move all my stuff from here to there. So I will be right back. Don't go anywhere, folks. All right, let's see how we doing. Howie. Hi Howie. Sorry if we're looking down on you. My camera is literally just sitting on a board looking through a hole in the board. So apologies if it's not the best setup. I'm doing the best with what I have. There we go. Okay. So now we're over to the stove. Of course, we want the food to be the focus, of course. All right. So, first things first. I forgot the potatoes. Be right back. By the way, you want your potatoes to be like packing snow. You see how it all packs up together? I don't know if you didn't grow up packing snow. Um, I'm sorry for your loss. And I also want an egg. Hold up. I apologize for my lack of preparation. All right, gotta get all the cords out of my way. Okay. Second thought, that egg's really tiny. Let me get a bigger egg. I'm hungry, man. I skipped breakfast for this. Ah. Woo. Oh, sorry for bumping the mic, folks. There we go. That's a better sized egg. Okay. So, sorry for the delay, folks. What we're gonna want to do is pour our cooking oil of choice. Doesn't really matter. I'm using canola oil. Whatever. You could use extra virgin olive oil if you really wanted. You could use Crisco cooking spray. Well, that's kind of gross. I don't know. You just want to put it on medium heat. What I like to do is I like to take one little gooby um, shreds of it just to put it on there. And then when that, you love the brown eggs so much better than white ones. Really? This is actually, fun fact, a farm fresh egg from our chickens. It was laid by our chickens. Unfortunately, the date isn't written on this one. Sometimes if we think about it, we'll write the date of when it was laid. The other one was like laid in October because we have so many eggs. We're so backed up. But yeah, we sell them to coworkers and stuff. So much better than the ones you buy at the store. Yeah, I don't have any preference between brown and white eggs personally. I've never really thought about it too, so it might be that I do. Um, but yeah, we're just sitting there waiting for this to heat up. I'm gonna cover all the bottom. Maybe there's a little bit too much oil. Let's see. Let's add that to the list of calories. I want to say like maybe a tablespoon of oil. Canola, 1 tablespoon. Crisco. And what kind of bacon is this? Smithfield. The yolk tastes different for some reason. Interesting. Like I said, I haven't noticed that, but then again, I haven't really thought about it. We do have brown egg laying chickens and white egg laying chickens. You see it's starting to fizz a little bit. So I like to use a pan about this size. I feel like this is a good serving size. It helps, when you're using up the whole pan to kind of mold it to the shape of the pan. So that's what I like. All right, starting. You wanted to get it a little hot there, so it's already cooking as soon as it hits the pan. As soon as the potatoes hit the pan, so that's sizzling. I'm getting a little impatient because you know what? I'm hungry. It's a nice way to see how. Yeah, it's just one holy. Oh, come on. Literally, this is my phone hooked up to Droid Cam, so it's broadcasting uh what my phone camera is seeing through the Wi-Fi to my phone. Oh shoot! I accidentally just flinged a piece of onion. That's fine. It was a big piece of onion. So you want to just keep it right, nice and around there. But then one of the most important things, you actually impressed with the quality? Yeah, I mean it's my phone camera. Phone cameras are pretty good nowadays. I don't remember how much I got it for, but it was a decent phone because I was sick and tired of having my phones die on me. Hey, Kidney Gamer, what's good? It's a cooking stream. That's what's good. So when you're cooking this, you want to make sure you shake it back and forth, so you don't. It does not stick. Oh shoot! Let me go pick that up. I went to throw this into the sink and then I missed. Okay, you do not want this to stick. That would be catastrophic. And one of the ways to help it get that crispy golden brown, as well as not stick, you can put little pats of butter. And I say you can, I mean you should absolutely do this. Put little pats of butter on the side. Let it just ooze its way down. So that way it gets underneath there. Starts mingling with the stuff on the bottom. Yeah, this camera's phone, or this phone's camera rather, is like higher quality than my um than my actual webcam on my computer. I'm like, come on. I get that people use the phone's camera more than the computer's camera for higher quality stuff, but still. But yeah, Kidney Gamer, how's it going with you? Are you a fan of cooking? This is my first time ever doing a food and drinks stream. There is a game called Cook King, capital K. I almost chose that, and I was like, wait, no. I want food and drink. That's what I want. Making I want to say over easy. It might. I don't remember what the difference between over easy is. Um, Over easy is when you flip the egg real quick. Anyway, this is sunny side up eggs on a bed of hash browns. Of course, we're in the hash brown cooking phase with toast and bacon. I did not prepare a beverage. I just like drinking milk. Um, so that's my thing. You like cooking Pokemon? What was that? What was that a yes to? The latency. I'm afraid I don't know which one. You love over easy. Okay. Answer to over easy. Thank you. I see. This is why we're doing sunny side up. Of course, I'll tell you how to do different one. We're lurking while working. Heck yeah. Um, the reason I do sunny side up is I love to dip my toast in the runny yolk. That's why I love it. So that's my thing. So I figure after I finish cooking this up, um, we can just chat while we eat. I don't know if anyone is actually cooking this as we're going. Um, but yeah, uh, I'm excited. I'm so hungry. Like I said, I skipped breakfast this, thinking I'd be eating at noon, but then I forgot. I have to set everything up. Well, I have to set everything up beforehand. That's not the problem. But I have to move everything everywhere because I've had to move the stuff over here to here, and then back there to do the second one, and then back here, and then I'm gonna move it all to the dining room. Make sure you're shaking it after this. Ooh, how's this cooking? It's looking pretty good. One thing you might want to do is press down so that the juices can squeeze through the bottom. I keep hearing my phone plinging, and I'm like, I can't check it. When did I start the first one today? Noon. Noon. So we've been going for 2 hours. It's looking like we're gonna have a 3 hour stream, which I'm sad because I'm hungry. Like I said, I skipped breakfast for this, thinking naively. I made the first one for my dad, so he ate it. So this is a hefty, um, a hefty recipe. It's of course, it's a lot faster when you're not explaining it to everybody, and you don't have to move your setup and every single time you want to switch locations. But yeah, it's legit. I would definitely recommend this. What I'll do is I'll make this recipe. For example, Thanksgiving. We I'm getting on such a tangent before I answer the question I asked. Um, Thanksgiving, what we did was instead of having a big meal in for dinner and having so much leftovers and all that good stuff, what we did was we assigned each family member to do or help with a certain meal. I was in charge of breakfast, so I made this for the entire family. So, you can make my brother's picky. So, and he wasn't up yet, so he didn't get any on the first time I made for but, you know, yeah, my dad said it was made to his liking. So what I did was I made this recipe, but instead of using this size pan, I used a bigger size pan and I cracked 4 eggs on top, and then we just cut it up like a pizza, and doled it all out like that. Mwah. So it's all sticking together. Yeah, if you don't, you want it to be nice and firm. Of course, when you make bigger portions, it's harder to keep it all stuck together because it's like bigger and it's thicker. So that's, you might want to watch out, make sure it's not super thick. But we got to flip it now. So here's a life hack of how to flip this. So what you want to do is you want to put a pot holder or some, oven mitts, whatever, in your non-dominant hand, and you'll cover the plate. Use a plate to cover it, cover the pan. You'll pick it up and you'll flip it. Just like that. Oh, you can hear the sizzling? Good. I didn't know if my noise cancel. Look at that. Nice and golden brown. Ooh. Lovely. So then we'll do what we did last time, and we'll take the butter, and we'll cut little chunks off. So maybe like a tablespoon of butter for each side. Of course, the butter and the oil are like the most fatty things in this recipe because they're literally just fat, pretty much. Crisco oil is literally just fat, I believe, but butter at least has some proteins and stuff in it. Oh, we don't want that. You want to make sure that this gets up on the side so it can, when it melts, it can drain down the side and get underneath everything. See, that's a lot of butter. Use less or more, however much. It's a nice way to flip it. You always use a fork. Yeah, that's the thing. We do have. I have seen like giant like omelet flippers where they're like you really get under there and it's like huge. But that's a nice way of just quickly whoop. Really easy to just whoop. Make sure you're holding it parallel and just whoop. So we're gonna let this cook, and I'll give you a glimpse into the future. What we're gonna do is we're gonna crack the egg over top of it. But if you're gonna do that, make sure you have the lid ready. So I did, like I said, this is based off of or inspired by or whatever. Oh, I'm scratching. Nice to have a non-sticky pan. Yeah, that's why I always shake it. Make sure it doesn't stick at all. It's a Gordon Ramsay recipe. I think I pulled it from his like breakfast video. So it's not all, he does a lot more in that video, but I pulled this. Um, what was I saying? But yeah, Gordon Ramsay thing. He does baked eggs. Um, he literally like opens the oven and then puts the whole pan in when he puts the egg on top. I don't like to do that. I think it's a little silly. I just put the lid on it. Of course, you're probably if you're making this for a lot of people or even yourself, you might want to have a couple pans running, and cooking stuff at the same time, cooking the bacon and this at the same time. But for the purpose of instruction, I'm not doing that. And limited space. I have very limited space. That's what I was afraid of doing one of these. Yeah, I didn't want to burn a cord or something like that. Oh, you want to make sure. You always want to make sure it's centered over the heat, so the heat distributes evenly, or else you'll burn one side. You'll be constantly looking. One of the things I might do is like I'll pull it towards me accidentally or push it away from me, and then I'll be checking one side, and then the other side is completely not done. That's a lot of butter. I keep wanting to take my phone out of my pocket. I have no idea what charge my phone is on. I'm so glad it's been lasting. I would imagine it can, stream the camera for a couple hours, right? I've been plugging it in over there, but unfortunately, the only plug is like behind me, and like I really don't want to run a plug down there to up here. Just not a good idea. Hopefully these plings aren't like I haven't checked the battery life on it yet. So yeah, it's just a matter of letting it cook, checking the bottom. It's getting there. It's getting there. And when it's almost how you want it, then we'll proceed to the next step. I've been saying this all day long, but if you want it crispy on the outside and gooey on the inside and cook faster, turn up the heat higher. If you just want a um, if you want it cooked all the way through more, turn the heat lower. It'll take longer, but yeah. If you want to just sear the inside, sometimes if you want to get real fancy, you can cook it how you want it, and if you want to sear it outside, you can crank the heat up, cook it for a bit, flip it, cook it for a bit. But that's way unnecessary for hash browns, in my humble opinion. Okay, that's looking good to me. So here's what we're gonna do. Get your lid ready. You saw the onion that jumped out of my spatula? It's like over. It's like over under there. All right. Crack the egg. You don't want to break the yolk. If we break the yolk, that's, not the end of the world. There we go. So you want to put that in there. No shell in there. Boom. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid over. And we're going to let that sit. What we're going to look for is we're going to look for the whites cooking. They're going to start from the outside and they're going to move in. And the whites are going to move in, and then it's going to cover the yolk. And as soon as the whites are covered the yolk, then we're going to... Oh, I got egg on my hand. As soon as the whites cover the yolk, we're going to remove it from the heat and serve it. Granted, it's going to be a bit cold by the time I get to it, just because I'm cooking, but whatever. So then after that, I'll show you how to make toast without using a toaster. We're going to grill up some toast. And then I'm going to show you how to make some bacon and then some maple bacon. Speaking of, I gotta grab the brown sugar. Yeah, you see it's starting to, turn it down a bit. But what the lid's doing is it's trapping the heat in so the air is hot. Ooh, holy cow. It's really going, man. So because the air is hot, it's cooking the egg on top of the. Oh, that's looking fine. So what we're gonna do is simply just gonna almost too runny, but I don't care. Oh, yeah, it is a little too runny. You can see a little bit that almost didn't cook enough. You see it's kind of running around there. You might probably want to cook that a little bit more, but that's fine for me. I'm not going to put it back in the thing. So I'm going to put this off to the side for now. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be cool by the time I dig in, but it's still good cool. All right, here's a little life hack. Pringles cans are not made of plastic. They're made of metal foil, and paper, cardboard. Because of that, you can pour hot grease right in them. They won't melt. Try to do that on a plastic thing. Oof. All right. So we're going to just make one piece of toast. What we're going to do is we're going to throw butter on there. We're not going to use a toaster. If you want to use the toaster to help you cook while you're preparing the other stuff, so you don't have to worry about the toast, that's fine. But we're going to grill this toast because you know what? This is a cooking stream, not a toaster stream. So, yeah. Throw some butter on there. Throw some bread. Boom. One piece of bread. Where's the twist tie? There it is. Just gonna have it go around. This is for anyone that really cares. Sara Lee honey wheat bread. Literally, I just asked my dad if he could pick up some bread. He is gluten intolerant, so usually don't have bread in the house. Sara Lee honey wheat. One slice. I'm going to be calculating the calories of this. So butter, probably got 3 tablespoons of butter. Honestly, when you start calculating calories, the cooking oil and the butter are the worst offenders. It's crazy. Oh, it's steaming over there. I want it. So you flip it. Oh, look at that. Nice and golden brown. When you scrape, you should when you scrape, you probably can't hear it, but when you scrape your spatula or whatever across it, you should hear a hard like and not just a soft, nothing. And that tells you that it's nice and firm. Yeah, I used to like bread over toast, but then you grill it yourself, and especially tastes good when you cook the butter into it. In my humble opinion. All right, that's nice. Let that cool down. All right, now for the final event. Let's make some bacon. Like last time, I'll make some bacon some normal bacon, and then we'll make some maple bacon. Now, of course, when you're handling raw meat, you want to treat it as if the raw meat is poison. So if your hands ever touch the raw meat, that's fine, but you definitely want to wash them before you stick them in your eyes or whatever. So what I did on the first time around, these pieces of bacon are longer than. Ooh, I'm gonna get fancy here. I'm going to be daring. But these pieces of bacon are longer than the pan itself. So I literally just took a pair of kitchen scissors and I just cut them right in half. Right down the middle. Get triangle pieces of bacon. You want to alternate them like this. They're like triangles. You got to whip. So they fit together. Of course, the bacon does shrink after a bit. I know I've been talking about high heat and low heat. But the whole thing about high heat is it'll burn the outside before it cooks the inside. Thing with bacon, especially slim cut. I do have some thick cut bacon in there. I'm not going to deal with it right now. Especially with slim cut bacon, it's so thin, it'll cook the inside pretty much the same side at the same time as the outside. You just have to worry about the top side and the bottom side. I usually flip my bacon a few times. I don't cook all one side and then flip it and cook all the other side and call it good. I'll flip it a few times so I can keep an eye on it. So yeah, just cook until you like it. Although generally, if you like crispy bacon, you do want higher heat. If you want more wiggly bacon, you want lower heat. A lot of that is just the length at which you cook them. You know, you cook it more, it's crispier. Cook more of the fat out. If you cook it less, I imagine crispier probably has less calories. For toast or for bacon. For toast, yeah, it can sometimes. I mentioned this the first time around, but it can sometimes bow up in the middle, and it just burns on the outside. The middle is not cooked. Or for other things, like, well, I'll still mention the toast. If you find that the corners, the edges of the toast is getting burnt, and the middle's not cooked, just hold your little spatula or whatever on it. Keep it pressed down. They have things like that, like where it's like a weight. You know, you can just put it on there. Sometimes like short order burger shops will have like they look like irons, like clothing irons, like old fashioned clothing irons, the ones that you had to put on the fireplace. Basically, they take a piece of bacon and they'll put the iron on there, and that way it'll cook both sides of the bacon at the same time, so you don't have to worry about flipping it. But the thing is, you can't monitor it really because it's covered. It's hard to monitor. So let's take this toast, put it with my other thing. All right, I usually like to put bacon on a plate with a piece of paper towel on it. So that way it soaks up the grease, you know, because the grease is part of what keeps it hot, and also keeps it, you know, so you can't eat it, and it also high in calories. I don't like eating bacon grease. All right, so now for the maple bacon, the final thing. Turn it on a really low heat, because if you cook it too quickly, the bacon will, or the sugar will burn before the bacon cooks. But if you turn it low, the bacon will cook and meld with the maple. So, this is mixed response. I like it. I wouldn't say I prefer it over normal bacon, but basically what you do is take some bacon. I have this on the lowest heat. It's still cooling down a bit, so it's still cooking. But you put brown sugar on it. Oh, that's a lot. Put some brown sugar on it. Not a lot. A lot, and it just tastes like candy. Which, hey, maybe that's what you want. Put some brown sugar on it on one side, and then you flip it right over so it cooks in. Again, this is nice and slow. You sprinkle a little bit on the other side. Just a little bit. You don't want to coat it. Maybe you do. I don't know. Preferences are preferences. Tastes are tastes. And there you go. I'm going to rinse my hands off. Got sugar on it. Probably afford to turn up a little bit. I'm doing it on the two of 9. Never done maple bacon before? Yeah, like I said, I saw it on the Gordon Ramsay a YouTube video from him, and it's it's interesting. It's an interesting flavor. I can't say it's my favorite. I can't say I would always take it over regular bacon, but it's a nice change of pace sometimes. Nice and sweet. My family generally is like, no, let's not. I don't want that. But hey, to each their own, right? God, I gotta cook this up, man, fast. My lunch is cooling down. It's almost dinner now. It's almost 2:30 where I'm at, where I am. I didn't eat breakfast because I thought I was gonna eat lunch, but then I realized, oh, it takes time to cook all this stuff, especially twice. Do 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 do. And you don't want to put this on the paper towel one because the sugar will stick to it. Hold up, I gotta put this bacon back in the fridge. I've been leaving it out for a couple hours. That's not ideal. Ah. Gotta get some plastic bags. Homemade food is the best, but also time consuming. Yes, this is true. It's also generally a lot more healthy than like ordering fast food, of course, as most people would know. But yeah, it takes time, and that's what a lot of people, I think, not to get too deep into the social issues of today, but I think a lot of people don't realize that it takes time. Like eating healthy takes time, right? I've been losing weight over the past couple months, but I don't have a job. All I do is stream. Like I have the time if I want to sit down and make something like this and focus on being healthy and using healthy foods. You know? But yeah, I've been cooking for almost like 2.5 hours now. Almost 2.5 hours now. Granted, I've been cooking two rounds and I've been setting up. But, you know, if I wanted to cook this for myself and my dad, I would do it all at once. But it would probably take me like an hour, for one meal. Think about that. If that's the same for every day, 3 hours every day just cooking, dang, you know. If you're awake for 16 hours, three of those every day just for cooking, yeah. I need to get some cereal or whatever. Oh, my stomach is like, you're so close, Carl. What are you waiting for? All right, let's just put that. Got all the list of ingredients in there that has calories. So I'll do the math later. You know what? That's probably not the most cooked, but I'm so hungry. What's the Smithfield hickory smoked? Not necessarily a preferred. I need to pay attention because I know sometimes I'm like, I don't really like this bacon, or I do like this bacon. All right, take this off the heat. So let's pour the grease in the Pringles container. All right, so I am going to regroup and go to the dining room. So I will be right back. I'll leave you with a word from our quote unquote sponsor. Until then. All right, nice. Okay, so now is the mukbang portion. I'll just be here until I finish my meal or we finish chatting, whichever comes last. So, how did everybody enjoy their time? Oh yeah, I got to tally up how much calories. All right, don't need Droid Cam anymore. So I have a Fitbit app. Um, so it's got a database with calories in it. All right, potato. Half a medium. No. You have 178 grams of potato for 123 calories of calories. We have onion. Onion is 51 grams, 20 calories. We have Crisco canola oil. One tablespoon. That's 120 calories for one tablespoon. Holy cow. 4 slices of Smithfield bacon. It's the hickory stuff. Hickory smoked bacon. That's 4 slices. 333 calories. Holy cow. One slice of Sara Lee honey wheat bread. One slice is 80 calories. And 3 tablespoons of butter. Holy cow. 330 calories there. That's a lot of stuff. Granted, it's a lot for one person. Generally, I split this kind of thing. It's a big breakfast. Again, you wouldn't have all 4, or at least you shouldn't. Oh yeah, and a glass. So that's 1,006 calories. Adding in a glass of 1% low-fat milk, it brings it up to 1,234 calories. So this is a hearty breakfast, to be sure. This is like over half. Yeah, typically breakfast food does. So I'm glad that I skipped breakfast to eat this. That this is my breakfast. Oh yeah, you know what? Oh yeah. You know what? You know what I should do? I hold up. I'll be right back. We can still set up the food cam. So yeah, it's also a lot of butter, butter and oil. That'll do it too. Let me just set my droid cam right up. I canceled out of it. There we go. So if we move to the big face, there we go. Oh shoot. So I want one that has motion sickness and was looking at this camera. There we go. So you can see, like it oozes out. Yeah, I probably could have stood to cook it a little bit more. But what I love to do. Oh. There we go. Sometimes it freezes when I'm switching between multiple sources that use the same camera. Yeah, what I love to do is dip my bread in the yolk. Yeah, that's good stuff. So yeah, you guys can put in the either in the cooking channel or the suggestion channel in the Discord. If you have recipes that you would like to see me cook or try, feel free to suggest them there. Um, they have to be simple enough that I can do in one stream like this, or um, and not complicated, but not so simple that there's no content to be had. Yeah, I love it. I love to do that. Y'all can hear me, right? Okay. See, I dip the toast in the yolk. That's why I do it sunny side up, so the yolk is still runny. Of course, my back is yelling at me right now, saying, "Carl, we don't stand up anymore. You just stood up for like 2 hours and 30 minutes straight. What's your problem?" Sorry. That was fun. That was fun. I'm sad no one was able to cook along. I don't think. Maybe some people were, but this is normal bacon. Unfortunately, it's cooling down. That's just how it goes. Yeah, I like this bacon. It's not too salty. The Smithfield kind. It's not too terribly salty. It is. That's what gets me in bacon when it's really 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 salty. Kind of burns your tongue almost. It's so salty. All right, let's try the maple bacon. As you can see, it does have it's sticky. It does have a shine to it. You know. Are you lactose intolerant? Soy milk or rice milk or almond milk? Yeah, I do. I do like. I do like that. If you use too much maple sugar, brown sugar, which I have in the past, it does overpower the bacon taste. Feels like you're eating candy or whatever. Can I just get away with this? Like a pizza? Ooh, good stuff. Yeah, it's important to salt it beforehand. Maybe you can use a little salt. I don't really care though. It's nice to put extra salt in there so that the salt also makes up for the egg. Of course, the potato and the onion is not where the calories come from. It comes from the egg and the bacon and the butter. I'd be interested to see what happens if you didn't put butter on it or didn't put oil. and instead just use the butter. But it is delightfully crunchy. It did get cooked all the way through. Maybe a little bit charred than I would have preferred, but overall, really good. If I do say so myself. Ugh. Just to coat the use vegetable oil. Yeah. All right, here's the quiz question. What plant, if it is a plant, does vegetable oil come from? Or plants? What kind of vegetable do you get the oil from? Because we put Crisco canola oil on the pan, just coat it. You don't know? Stop using peanut because of calories. Vegetable oil is made from soybean oil. So if you see vegetable oil, it's soybean. Yeah, that was good stuff. Yeah, it's not too surprising given that wheat, corn, and soybeans, yeah, are the most common crops grown in America. There, I put it. Yeah, luckily I have no food allergies. You ever hear about allergies from people from like boomers generations, and I wonder if that's because there are more allergies nowadays, or people with allergies, or just less reports. Like people just not really care about it. Oh, sorry. Mabel, get your elbows off the table. Especially when it's covering the. Yeah, that was fun. I'm gonna assume I have a fair amount of viewers this stream. A lot of people watching. That makes me happy. Maybe I'll look for a cooking food and drink streamer to raid. Next time you might join in terms of cooking. Whoa, If you want me to cook something, throw it in the Discord. All right. Well, that was fun. I severely enjoyed myself. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do breakfast again. Maybe. That's what people want. But look at all my tubbiness. I got this cool shirt. My sister gave it to me. Pumpkin Man shirt. All right, well let's take a look on Twitch. Let's turn all the channel points back on while I have it up. I didn't want people telling me to wear my spooky mask during a cooking stream. Oh yeah. Let's do food and drink. Are you kidding me? I can't just search up food and drink, food and drink. All right, that looks like an actual child. That person, it says English, but their title's in like Spanish, so no. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't see a lot of dedicated. It's I see me cooking with Carl. Thank you. A Pride birthday cake. This person seems right. Ellie does things. Well, Ellie do be doing things. They got a Trans Lives Matter shirt on. We love to see that. So let's raid Ellie does things. I do not know this person. They're just streaming food and drink. They're cooking. They said they're making a cake, so I like cake. Baking, I don't think I would do because baking takes too long to put it in the oven. Maybe I'd do it where I'd bake something and then have like a game to play. Anyway, we can talk about this in the Discord. Feel free to bring it up. I would love to discuss it with you guys. Yeah, no problem. We'll be rating Ellie Does Things. It says the channel is intended for mature audiences, so keep that in mind. Rate at your own risk. Again, I do not know this person. I just like to pass on the love. In any case, thanks everybody for coming out. I had a lot of fun today. I made some good food. I hope you all are able to make some good food for yourself. If you guys make this recipe yourself, I absolutely want to see it. The finished product, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, whatever. In any case, thanks for coming out. If you like what you saw and you're not following, you can feel free to follow. If you would like to support the channel in other ways other than following, you can subscribe. Or if you'd like to check out some of my other content, you can do so from the social media descriptions in the description. Other than that, stay safe out there, folks. Get boosted as soon as you're able to. If you're not vaccinated and boosted, don't leave your house unless you need to. But if you do need to leave your house, well, wear a mask, stay at least 6 feet away from other people, and wash your hands often. All right, let's raid Ellie Does Things. Bye, everybody.